got the humidity, we've got a few passing clouds. Combine that and we'll have some isolated storms. It just switches gears over in the early night from stray storms to morning patchy fog. Then we'll have stray rain and storms developing again late morning to midday. Notice a couple popping up here along the edge of the plateau in the mountains of northeast Tennessee and southeastern Kentucky. That can help to trigger a storm along the edge of the valley, like the Morgan County line, Anderson line. Notice around Knox, Union, parts of Jefferson, so it'll even be parts of town getting the lawn and garden watered. But it does slide up to an isolated coverage of our area from the plateau to the valley. Tennessee, Kentucky line up in the Smokies as well. Lots of sunshine, few passing clouds, and isolated storms are definitely the name of the game going into your evening hours. There's a couple more storms drifting along the plateau to northeast Tennessee. Then again, the early night storms fade. We switch over to morning fog development. Sound familiar? Definitely a summer pattern here. As we add that up, though, that does mean some of you get the garden watered. I know we were out there running our sprinkler trying to help with some of the tomatoes and cucumbers we're trying to grow. Get these isolated spikes up of a half an inch, even a lone inch, especially if a little downpour or storm stalls out, which we're seeing a couple of those specks here around Claiborne County to Bell County, for example. But just know that it is still only about 20% of our area seeing the rain and storms today. That'll take us from a warm morning, upper 70s already at 9, 91 at 2, warming up quickly. It'll feel even hotter, but your high today is actually going to be 94 in Knoxville by that 5 o'clock hour. Notice it'll feel like we're spreading out mid to upper 90s, although then you get your isolated cooling from some isolated storms. So in comparison, it can feel like 98 in Knoxville and 100 in Lenore City, but an isolated storm can bubble up and can make it feel like 93 in Kingston. So there are the isolated cooling that come with the lucky ones getting that watering there. 93 is what it can feel like Crossville to 94 Jamestown. It can feel like 97 in Williamsburg. Isolated storms can create these pockets of rain cooled air. A mix of 90s throughout far northeast Tennessee as well, and that feels like forecast where you live. Again, we start tomorrow with fog. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Tomorrow, spotty storms. Honestly, today and tomorrow, very similar. Popping up along our terrain changes, but we'll keep it isolated for now. If there's some things you need or want to do outside, just make sure you're staying hydrated and using caution, especially in those afternoons because of the heat and the humidity. Although tomorrow night, notice we'll go ahead and stir up a couple more storms. That's because more are on the way, so we're kind of sliding towards a more active pattern by midweek. So again, a steamy combo here. 73 in the morning, warm morning, 87 at noon. High tomorrow, 92. Still upper 80s at 7 p.m., still feeling hotter. And then Wednesday, as I mentioned, we'll already have a couple of pre-dawn storms. There'll be some more scattered rain and storms popping up throughout your afternoon and into your evening on Wednesday. So you can see where those scattered storms start developing and continue to move across our area. So that will take us up in coverage midweek with some on and off rain and storms carrying over into the end of the week. So you can see that build right here in your first alert 8-day planner. Scattered afternoon and evening storms Wednesday takes us out of this string of 90s. On and off storms Thursday, especially seeing that build into the afternoon with a little better coverage. I think we'll have some scattered storms still on Friday into Friday night. It does look like some isolated downpours and storms pop up this weekend, but we're holding right back around that 90-degree mark. Of course, feeling hotter, getting steamy on into early next week as well in your first alert 8-day planner.